Hi everybody, Dr. Laura Donna here with LifeMod Solutions. Today we're going to find out what your source of bloating is. When you find the source, you can then find your short-term fixes to get you through your days more smoothly. So step number one is you have to record your food on a food log. I'm talking every single thing that passes through your lips, whether it's a food, a drink, or a snack as you walk by the kitchen, you're going to write it down. If you had a burger, what was on it? Lettuce, tomato, onions, ketchup, mustard, mayo. If you cooked a vegetable, what oil did you cook it in? I want you to be as specific as possible. Quantities aren't necessarily important here. It's really about what you're putting in your mouth. Okay, step number two, now you've recorded all your food. After each meal and every time that you eat, I want to record your feelings. How do you feel after you eat that meal? And usually you want to do it within 2 hours, okay, and up to 2 hours after. So you're going to write down, wow, I bloated. And I want you to rate your bloating using a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being my bloating is a 10, I'm pregnant. I look like I'm pregnant. Okay, I bloated at a level of a 6 immediately after eating. Or you could say I bloated 2 hours later at a level of a 6. You could talk about your mood. If you have other symptoms like other gas, belching, farting, do you have acid reflux? Do you feel irritable? Do you feel moody? What else are you experiencing within the 2 hours of that meal? You're going to do this for 2 weeks. I said it, 2 weeks. I know this is going to be a little bit of a challenge. It's a new habit. Do your best. If it helps, take pictures of your meals, put it in a note on your phone, whatever you've got to do to make yourself successful at recording what you eat. It's a very powerful tool. Every single patient that starts with me is required to do this upon working with me because helps us find patterns and trends and situations. Because then you're going to have this 2-week period and say, oh my gosh, wow, after lunchtime, I always bloat. What am I eating at lunch? Most of the times we're generally eating similar things and the same things. Oh my God, every time I have a huge big salad at lunch, I have bloating. And then you could start to figure out, wow, I might have a hard time breaking down raw foods. I need to consider eating cooked foods, right? You'll start to come up with some patterns. So once you've recorded for 2 weeks, you're going to come back to this video and let's talk about some of the things that may be pairing together and what you can do to support yourself. Okay, so say every time that you have bloating, you also have acid reflux. What that tells me is you're not making enough stomach acid, and it can also be a motility issue. Things are sitting for too long in your belly, and instead of you breaking it down, your gut bacteria are breaking it down, and it's causing a lot of gastric distress. So what the fix for this is, you need to take a digestive enzyme that contains betaine HCl, or you can take apple cider vinegar with all of your meals. You would take 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in 2 ounces of water, take it, follow with a sip of plain water because you don't want the acid in your mouth or your esophagus, and let that work its magic. I know it sounds counterintuitive. You're taking an acid to help your acid reflux. Please check out my why and acids should be avoided video to understand more about that. This is going to help your acid reflux and your GERD, okay? So taking a digestive enzyme and then also around your meals, avoiding large amounts of liquid. Do not chug a cold glass of water with your meal. You want to sip as needed only to get through the meal. You should be drinking water in between your meals, okay? So more than a half hour before you eat and more than an hour after you eat, you should be drinking fluids. Other than that, it's sipping as needed. Okay, if you suffer from constipation, this will increase your risk of bloating because things are sitting for too long in your GI tract. Things are starting to back up. And now the gas has nowhere to go. It's trapped. It's stuck. Again, the constipation can be caused by a few things, but to name a few, a lack of digestive enzymes, which is always started by having a lack of acid. When you have a lack of acid, then you later have a further down the line problem of not releasing your digestive enzymes properly. And it's also an imbalance in your gut bacteria. Okay, so for this fix, you're going to want to take 2 different enzymes, one with the betaine HCl and another with a multi-enzyme, and that'll have things like lipase and proteases. They're going to help you break down proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, okay, in addition to the stomach acid. That's 2 supplements. And you could also actually use digestive bitters here too. I haven't brought that up. But for both scenarios of acid reflux and for constipation, digestive bitters are wonderful. It's usually 10 to 15 drops. You hold it in your mouth for about 15 seconds. Let that work its magic and swallow, okay? That's a wonderful tool. So, and then eventually we'll get you on a probiotic and things like that. Okay, another thing to think about, are you eating when you're stressed? Did you just have a fight with somebody? Is there something going on at work? Are you eating on the go, eating in the car, eating while you're standing? You're in a stress response, and so when stress is on, your digestive system is off, okay? So then you're not releasing your enzymes. Your body doesn't even care about food right now. It's worried about the emotional stuff that you're going through and keeping your heart breathing and your brain going. So the way to fix this is one is sit down when you eat. When you sit to eat, take 3 deep breaths, okay? We want to put your body into a calming state. And the next thing is to chew your food, okay? When you take a bite of food, you're gonna put your fork down, you're gonna chew it at least 20 to 30 times. You want your food to be as liquidy and mushy as it could possibly be, to the point where if a baby were to eat it, they could swallow it without choking. Very, very mushy, very liquidy. Your saliva has digestive enzymes in it. It's going to start the breakdown process and make it easier down the road, okay? So sit, breathe, chew. The next thing is, are you eating different foods? So some people will eat a lot of ketogenic desserts or treats and things like that. They use a lot of sugar alcohols in there. These are things like xylitol, mannitol, and erythritol. Unfortunately, when they get broken down in the gut, they cause intestinal gas. So for this fix, you just got to avoid those foods and know that until you rebalance your gut, you can't break those things down effectively. Other thing to think about is what's in the vegetables that you're eating. Are you eating a lot of what we call cruciferous vegetables? This is the broccoli, the cabbage, radishes, kale. They all fall into this. Cauliflower falls into this one. Is it this family of vegetables? Then you just got to avoid it. Or if you're starting finding patterns with other vegetables that you're eating, you just have to avoid those. Again, this is a digestive enzyme fix that you're going to need, so the acid and the multi-enzyme. And then, are you drinking a lot of carbonated beverages? You're putting bubbles in your belly. That's also going to cause your bloating and your gas, so the fix for that is to avoid it. So these are some places to start, guys. Keep your food log. Do it for 2 weeks. Be honest. Write down your symptoms and food feelings after you eat, and you can start to see where you can make changes on your day-to-day to have your short-term fix now. Know that these are just your short-term fixes. We don't want you to rely on digestive enzymes. We don't want you to rely on these methods to break down your food. You need to correct your gut health, which involves changing your diet for about 6 to 8 weeks, taking probiotics, prebiotics, working with a healthcare professional who can guide you through these changes, because it does take some time. So we'll cover all those little details in a later video, but you can, in the meantime, check out my other video called the 5 R's of Gut Healing, and that'll give you a breakdown of the process that needs to be involved for fixing your gut. So have any questions, please comment below. Let me know what works for you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my page because I'm releasing videos very frequently, and share this with a family or friend who you think needs to hear this or who's suffering from some digestive discomfort. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.